Hey, hey, hey. Good to see everyone.
In the shadow of the Rockies, where the wild winds blow, Albertans rise up, tired of the status quo. Oil sands pumping black gold, beef on the grill so fine. Grain fields waving golden, canola blooming in the sunshine. But Ottawa's taking our billions, unfair equalization gain, sending it east to Quebec while we shoulder the blame. No more pipelines blocked, no more carbon tax chains. We're done with the feds, breaking free from their reins.
Alberta freedom.
Ringing loud and true. Woo-hoo. Sovereignty calling, independence.
Hey everyone, it's good to see ya.
No more woke liberalism, stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall, cutting loose from the strife. Rocky Mountains watching as we claim our own land. Freedom for our families with a rifle in hand.
Alberta freedom.
Let the anthems roll. We're building our nation forevermore.
That's right.
From the prairie to the peaks, where the eagles soar high. We're sick of the traitors calling us traitors, that's a lie. Equalization's a thief, stealing our hard-earned pay, while they push their agendas, turning night into day. Beef ranchers and farmers, grain silos stand proud. Oil rigs turning profits under Alberta's cloud. No more begging for ports, landlocked but strong we stand. We'll negotiate our future with the world in our hand.
Alberta freedom.
Ringing loud and true. Sovereignty calling, independence coming through. No more woke.
Hey, hey, hey. Good to see everyone.
Stealing our way of life. Albertans stand tall, cutting loose from the strife. Rocky Mountains watching as we claim our own land. Freedom for our families with a rifle in hand. Alberta freedom.
Oh yeah, today's a big day for the freedom movement for Alberta independence. And oh my gosh, the lefties, the haters are going absolutely berserk out there today. Unbelievable. And you know what? I didn't even know that this was happening in the background. We had this Centurion Project and the Republican Party, you know, some side agenda type outfits that release some election information. Not good. I don't agree with it. I say, you know what? I say don't let it affect the movement at all. Don't let it affect Alberta independence. And you know what? The RCMP, if they're going to do some kind of an investigation with Elections Alberta, go for it. And hey, let the chips fall where they fall. Whoever did it, you know, needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And it doesn't affect me at all. I was no part of it. You know, Stay Free Alberta was not part of it. The collection of the signatures was all done by actual people, canvassers out there, boots on the ground. That's what ended up happening. So don't let it, you know, hurt the movement. Of course, the lefties are like, oh, what a bunch of greaseballs. Everybody's a greaseball out there, whatever. No, we're not greaseballs. We're real Albertans. We're people that want something better in, and we're not getting it within Confederation. This is a small blip, and it's a little bit in the news media cycle. You'll hear about it today, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But, and actually, Elections Alberta knew about this thing, this breach, quite a long time ago. So why did it take them so long to do something about it? Well, or are they really doing something about it? I don't know. RCMP are investigating, and I guess we'll hear what happens. I don't like to hear that my information was leaked. Not a good thing at all. So I'm like, no, not good. But Was it the entire Alberta independence movement that was involved in it? No, it was probably 2 people. Probably 2 people. So those 2 people need to be investigated by the RCMP. And, there's nothing else to really talk about at this moment in time until that investigation actually happens and it is, continued. And let's hear the results of it. Until we hear the results of it, life goes on. Spilt milk. We hear about there being breaches of different corporations and companies and stuff like that. People are hacked and whatever, and your information gets out there. And that's all there is to it. I've been taken advantage of by the government of Canada, by the Liberals funding different groups like Antifa and places like that, where they, find out who you are, what you are, where you work, what your phone numbers are, and they publish that information out on the internet. And it's happened to me, lots of times. So am I worried about it? No, I'm not personally worried about it at all. Although I think it's a terrible thing that's happened, and those people that are responsible, which is not an entire group, it's not the entire independence movement, and whoever is responsible for that, if it's somebody in the Republican Party, because apparently there is an actual party called the Republican Party, and they have, basically released the voter database in Alberta, and apparently have given it, well, this is all apparently, we don't know for sure exactly what happened, but they've apparently given it to this Centurion project, which I never heard about until Wednesday, so I knew nothing about the Centurion project, which is, somebody set up a third-party type project to help with independence, I guess, but at the end of the day, they didn't really help anything. They just, ended up throwing a bit of a wedge in the whole thing and causing a bunch of, discontent with everybody. But does it affect me? No. And I'm just an average person that's pro-independence. Does it affect all the people, all the 7,000 people that collected signatures? No, they collected signatures legitimately. And people are going, oh, well, what if they took that voter list and they faked stuff or whatever? I don't know. You don't know. But the signatures will be counted and verified by Elections Alberta. So don't worry about that, And there are actually pretty much boxes of signatures that are leaving Bonnyville as we speak, and they're on the highway, and they're coming their way to Edmonton. And when I conclude this stream right here, I will be hopping into my vehicle and heading down to Elections Alberta, to where the actual signatures are going to be unloaded and submitted to Elections Alberta. So just consider this as fodder for the lefties out there, the haters out there. They're just loving it that this, voter list got released, and now they can slam the entire independence movement. But it's akin to the convoy going to Ottawa and somebody flying a Nazi flag when we got there. You know what I mean? Like, all it is just something for the media to latch onto and to try and brandish guys like me and other good people that are part of the independence movement. Try and tar us and feather us with some kind of a brush. And it's just not going to work. It's not going to work because we're way stronger than something like that. It's a blip. It's a media event. In fact, why was it that there was a whole bunch of police cars and stuff like that, and the media was there to film it? It was kind of almost like a big stunt that was done there. If you remember what happened or have been following this whole thing. But anyways, we move on from that, and we're going to be part of, people are putting out memes like this, Republic of Alberta, and some beautiful things like that. We're loving what we're seeing out there on the internet, and life goes on. Life goes on, spilled milk happens, and life goes on, and you can't change the past. If you're butthurt because your name was released to a website, be mad. I'm mad that that happened. I'm unhappy that happened. I don't like to see stuff like that happen. I'm not going to, brush it or sweep it under the rug or say that, oh, well, it was no different than getting a bunch of names from a phone book. No, it wasn't. It was something that happened, and it was, harmful, not good at all. So, what do? You dwell over that forever and, call people a bunch of greaseballs? Well, some people do, Some people are doing stuff like that, where they're just going, oh, well, it's just a terrible thing that's happening. You don't want to have anything to do with that. And when you're talking to your friends at the golf course and stuff like that, well, you better let them know how bad this thing is. No. What you want to do is you want to tell your friends how bad that Alberta is being treated in Confederation, how much money that Carney is spending like crazy. And it's, something that Alberta is being harmed with. We've been harmed for an awful long time, and that we wouldn't even be talking about independence if it wasn't for how badly that Alberta is being treated in Confederation. But, hey, whether or not we'll get it, well, we definitely have more signatures than we need, and there are definitely boxes and boxes of signatures that are being loaded into a trailer and are coming towards Edmonton here right now. So we're just waiting for that to happen as we speak. Let's see if we can pull up a video of what it actually looks like with the loading of the boxes of signatures into the back of the trailer. Let's bring this little clip up here so that we can see this. Hang on. Let me just get one that you can actually see here. Here we go. Here's the video. Let's bring it up with audio here. Hang on.
Okay. Who is that one, guys? Free Alberta.
This is Bonnieville. And you can see the boxes of signatures there. Now, if I stop that right there, and you count how many boxes there are over here, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, whatever. And there's more over to the other side there. It's really hard to count exactly how many there are here. But there's, I don't know, 40 boxes, and how many, and each box has sheets in them, and each sheet has numerous signatures on them, and apparently there is over 177,000 signatures. There you can see it. It's not a small amount, that's for sure. And we're going to actually find out exactly how many signatures that were collected when this trailer reaches Edmonton. And it's apparently supposed to be arriving at about 1:30. It's about 10:30 here right now. So that's about 3 hours from now is when we'll probably find out how many signatures are in those boxes. So look forward to that information being released. And mods, if there's anybody in the chat here that's being disrespectful to me or to the independence movement, feel free to ban them from the chat to the same degree that the lefties time me out consistently over in their channels there. So feel free to time any people out that are being very, very disrespectful. Yeah, because it takes two to tango, and if you do it to me, then we'll do it to you. Because we are pro-independence in the chat here. We're pro-independence on the channel. And our day is coming. Our freedom vote will be heard worldwide, says Dwayne. Hey, Dwayne, good to see you in there. We got 18 plus 4 in there. Good to see you. We got Prairie in there. Hey, Prairie. And lots of other good people in the chat. Nice to see people popping in here to see what's going on. Let's just go a little bit further here. Oh, here's Alberta Dad. Let's see, Alberta Proud Dad, as he's known on Facebook and X and places like that. Let's hear what he has to say about this whole thing here. He's just done a little clip here. Let's hear him.
Today, history is being made in Alberta. Mitch Sylvester will walk into Elections Alberta carrying more than signatures. He's carrying the voices of the Albertans who are tired of being ignored. Albertans tired of government overreach, tired of watching Ottawa take from this province, then mock the very people who built it. This is for the farmers, the welders, the truckers, the oil field workers, the small business owners, and every family that still believes Alberta is worth fighting for. And to the canvassers who stood in the cold, the snow, the sleet, and even faced threats for doing what they believed was right. Thank you. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Now we move forward. We press on, and we keep fighting for Alberta.
That's right. I would agree with him wholeheartedly. And that's Alberta Proud Dad, pro-independence. I actually met him on the weekend on Saturday at the big event there in central Alberta. I did a little interview with him with my live stream. Great guy. And he actually was against Alberta independence to begin with. And after, all of the reasons for independence were presented to him, he actually changed his mind. So he's like a new convert to Alberta independence and is definitely pro-independence. Like I can see lots of good reasons, and I've gone over them before as to why Alberta independence is such a positive thing and a good thing for Alberta. We've been taken advantage of by Ottawa. That's the number one thing. And I can go over, literally 100 things of why that's happening. Here's an interesting one here. I'll just bring this in the interim here. Westlock, Alberta, we've got a good proponent. And let me just bring this one on here. Benita Pedersen, who's actually been a guest on my channel. She has facing now a human rights complaint after distributing flyers urging neighbors to oppose a proposed Pride crosswalk in the town of Westlock. So basically, she was like, wanted to get rid of those crosswalks, wanted to get rid of the town flying flags. And somebody has put a human rights complaint in after her. And really, honestly, these human rights tribunals, which are pretty much, I think, in every province across Canada, are like little, what would you call them? Kangaroo courts that, come up and go, oh, well, we're going to fine you this much money. And really, I didn't elect them. I didn't put them in power. I don't know where the hell they even came from. But most of their rulings are like, like unjust. There's a guy in BC that got, I don't know what it was, whether it was a $250,000 or $750,000 fine for just plain saying that there's only two genders. Like, that's how ridiculous these human rights tribunals are. And poor Benita Pedersen, like I said, who's been a guest on my channel here, who is absolutely pro independence, a really hard-working person out there with, speakers, microphones, and setups and stuff like that. In fact, she was outside of the teachers' union building there with her setup, spending a lot of time against what's going on in the school system in Alberta. So anyways, she's been taken to task by the Alberta Human Rights. So she's, not happy about that. I'm not too happy about that either. Let's see what's happening here from our good friend Alberta Radio. This is Jason. He has a channel, Alberta Radio, and let's hear what he has to say about this whole thing here with the electors list.
Breaking news, folks. Just found out about that data breach there about Elections Alberta. Oh my God, man, this is hilarious. Guess what? Y'all been fooled. It's the phone book. Have a great day. You can always reverse your phone number and find out where anybody lives just by going to Canada411.ca. Have a great day, folks. God bless.
Yeah. So, that's his take on it. My take on it is not the same as his, of course. I look at it as being not a good thing. not a good thing that happens. I'm not going to be in that camp where it's like a phone book or whatever. My personal information is out there. It's already out there. I've already been doxxed by Antifa and all the rest of that crap there. The lefties take full advantage of my situation and dox me all the time. So am I worried about me being on a elector's list and my phone number and address and name being out there? I'm not worried about it. Am I pissed off that it happened? Yes, because it's tainting the the good reputation of the independence movement. But it's a blip in the media cycle. It's the news today, it's the big news today and yesterday and whatever, and tomorrow will be something else. Everyone will have forgotten about this and we'll have moved on to something else. It's not a reason to say that independence is a bad thing. And the list has really nothing to do with Alberta independence, right? The numbers of people that are on those lists were taken by people walking up to them and signing and providing information to the canvassers of where they live, what their name was, providing some government ID, some proof of where you live, stuff like that. So they weren't just fabricated. There's nothing out there that says that a voter list was used to fabricate any signatures on the plebiscite. Okay, so keep that in mind. And hey, tomorrow we just move on. It's a shame that it happened. I don't like to see that it happened, and I would rather that it didn't happen. But at the end of the day, there's still a lot of people out there that are pro-Alberta independence, okay, and are driving vehicles like this, flying the flags, and that will all still happen. And we still have a long time between now and the 19th of October when the actual vote will happen. What we have to do right now is concentrate more on the judge that has actually put a stay on counting these signatures. So now we have the boxes of signatures that are flowing down the highway right now, going to be in Edmonton to where I am here by about 1:30. And now Jeffrey Rath has already got the information on exactly how many signatures are in those boxes. That number will be released, and it will be really interesting to see what that number is. We know that it's over 170,000 signatures, but did we surpass, let's say, 400,000 or 500,000 or 700,000? Hard to say. We don't know. You saw how many boxes were in the back of that truck. And, from what I saw there, I saw a lot of boxes. Should there have been more boxes in there? I don't know. But, you might guess. Now, somebody said how many signatures there are per page. And it's something like maybe, let's say, eight signatures per page. Now, how many pages can you get into one of those boxes? Okay. And how many boxes are there in the back of that box? So anybody with a calculator might be able to do some arithmetic. In fact, if you really took your time there, you could count how many boxes there actually were in that back of the truck. Who knows? Maybe there's 50 boxes back there. How many signatures are in each box? You can kind of almost make a bit of a calculation here right now. We know that it's over 177,000 signatures in those boxes. That much we know for sure. And that's all we need to get the vote out there on the 19th. But that being said, we have the native chiefs that have put a blockade for the counting of those signatures. The judge has made a ruling whereby Elections Canada is not able to count those signatures. So until that Liberal judge makes her decision as to whether or not that can happen, everything is kind of in a state of limbo. And we don't know whether or not they're going to actually be counted or whether the counting will be done by a third party. And the third party will be the ones that will be submitting that to the provincial government, and we'll find out what's going to be happening at that time. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen with that. But it's definitely a thing that is constantly in motion here. Where every day something new happens, and it's in my mind quite the situation that we're in here right now. Like I said, for all those people on the left where you're undecided or you wonder what the hell's going on, you know, the data breach was probably done by one or two people. And, you know, the RCMP will investigate, and whatever they find, well, it's up to them to do something with the law. But keep in mind that the law in Canada is pretty lax. People get a slap on the wrist. They don't get fines. They don't go to jail. You know, there was a guy last night that I posted a video where the guy burnt a shopping cart, set a big fire up behind the building. And, you know, the fire department came, and even though he totally torched a $1,000 shopping cart, nothing happened to him. They didn't call the police. They didn't hold him. They didn't arrest him. In fact, they gave the guy a bottle of water, and he had a drink of the bottle of water, the fire department did. And then the fire department poured a bunch of bottles of water, bottled water, which is expensive, on the fire to put it out. So people really don't get arrested for much these days anymore in Canada. You know, it's just that kind of a thing. That's the country that we live in here. But just keep in mind that we have an awful lot of taxes in this country, and that's one of the reasons that Alberta wants independence, is because we are absolutely saddled with taxes upon taxes upon taxes upon taxes. And, you know, that's the reason, one of the big reasons that Alberta wants independence, right? Every dollar that you make working gets federally taxed. Everyone says, like, it's pretty typical to say, well, half my money goes to taxes. Yeah. And then when you go to buy something like gasoline, you have to pay federal tax. You have to pay the carbon clean fuel tax. You have to pay taxes that are actually embedded in the cost of fuel by way of the corporations that pay corporate carbon tax. You have to pay the road tax, you have to pay provincial tax, and then on top of that, once you paid all those taxes, then you have an all-encompassing GST tax of 5% on top of everything else. And then everyone wonders, well, why is gasoline so expensive? Well, the same thing with food and anything else that you buy, right? If it's trucked in, then part of the cost of that item is the trucking cost, the fuel cost, even if it's brought in by train or something like that. Trains don't run on farts and solar panels. They run on diesel. And, you know, these diesel prices are going through the roof. Look at airplanes here, airplane travel. Airplane corporations are actually honing down on the number of flights that they're doing. There's been an airline that's completely gone out of business because of the high price of fuel. And we're just being taxed like crazy. Now, if Alberta became independent, wow, we wouldn't be this guy anymore. We wouldn't be burdened with all of those federal taxes that are just weighting down on us and making it almost impossible to live or to buy a house or to rent an apartment or to buy food. It's like everything is taxed like crazy. We're sick and tired of it, and that's one of the big reasons for everybody signing those petitions and wanting independence for Alberta. Who the hell wants a bunch of taxes? Only the Liberals. Only the Liberals out there that say, I'm okay with paying tons and tons and tons of taxes. I'm okay with paying so many taxes on everything. And remember, we started out in this country without any taxes whatsoever. Then the government said, well, we need to tax you a little bit because of the war measures, right? Because to support war. And then from there, it just ballooned. And, you know, the government, all they keep doing is bringing in more and more and more taxes as time goes on. It's freaking ridiculous. And we're sick and tired of living in that kind of a situation. And an independent Alberta will get rid of that completely. We will become the absolute richest country in the world per capita with the amount of oil reserves that we have here. And look at, we already have another thing here going to the States, another pipeline. Trump has signed another pipeline deal here, an approval of a cross-border pipeline with Canada. No, not with Canada, with Alberta. It's with Alberta. because it's the pipeline is going to connect up to a pipeline that's already in Alberta. Most of Canada's pipeline is being built already. No, it hasn't. Most of Alberta's pipeline, and is excellent news for Alberta and Canada. Has Carney commented on this yet? You know, Trump is the one that's pushing this through in the United States. This is going to be great for Alberta. This is another 500,000 barrels of oil in that pipeline per day. Now we're sending 4 million. That'll be 4.5 million barrels of pipeline of oil being sent down to the United States, and all this stuff is great news for Alberta. But there are those of you that live in other parts of Canada that are just so pissed off. You're just completely riled that Alberta wants to leave Confederation. Well, you know what? You shouldn't have treated us here in Alberta so poorly. Really, all my life, and I was born in Alberta here, so I'm not just a Johnny-come-lately, but all my life, everyone has been complaining about how poor Alberta has been treated. Back in the day of even Pierre Elliott Trudeau, he tried to nationalize all of our oil resources in Canada. He came up with Petrocan. That's where that gas station came up from. That was the umbrella, the name that he was wanting to nationalize all of the oil companies and make them like, hey, that's Marxism, that's communism. That's what that is when you nationalize your oil companies and go, okay, it's all going to belong to the government of Canada. And when that happened, when he tried to do that, all of the oil companies said, nope, we're going to have nothing to do with it. You guys are stealing our oil wells and our oil infrastructure, and we're just going to not work with you at all. And it failed. It failed. It completely failed for Pierre Elliott Trudeau. And the leftover from that is the Petrocan gas station network that's out there, right? Because it became privatized again, and everything is private, right? Which it works out better because now you have private players that are willing to do work, go out there, find oil, and bring it to market, right? But when you get the government involved in such shit, you end up with stuff like the post office that loses like literally $1 billion a year. You end up with entities like CBC that literally the government has to subsidize for $1.5 billion a year, even though they have advertising on CBC television. What? And regular TV stations have advertising, and hey, they get along real well. But the CBC, it needs $1.5 billion in order to survive. Well, we can get rid of those kind of crappy things here in Alberta. We don't need CBC television or radio. We don't need to subsidize them at all. I wonder how much Alberta is actually spending on CBC. If all of Canada is giving CBC $1.5 billion, how much of that is Alberta? I wonder. I wish that we had the numbers on that. But anyways, the signatures are coming to Alberta, to Edmonton, and I'm going to be down there, and I'll be going live on location with my megaphone. I'll have my megaphone. I will be playing the song that you hear, the Alberta Freedom song that you hear on my stream here. They may very well even have a PA system and stuff like that set up. Here's a little picture of where all the oil is in Canada, and you can see here, over in this area, let me see if I can get my thingamajiggy over here, where you can see it. Over in here is where all the oil is in Canada, which is right here where Alberta is. Now, there are going to be those of you that are going, yeah, you guys are just selfish. You have oil there, and you want to split away from Canada, and you're just a bunch of selfish Albertans where you want all that oil and all that money for yourself, and you should be sharing it with Canada. We are sharing it with Canada, but it's not being shared equally because the money flows out of Alberta. And why is it that we have a $9 billion deficit in the province of Alberta? We're such a rich province, but we send so much of our money in taxes to Ottawa that we don't have enough money to run our own economy in Alberta. We're at a $9 billion deficit because it's like I feel like they're lifting so much money out of our wallet for Ottawa and sending it to other provinces all over the place that we don't have enough money left here in our own province to be able to pay for the infrastructure pay for the hospitals. There's an 8 to 12 hour lineup wait at the hospitals. The teachers are complaining that the classrooms are overloaded. It's just a terrible situation that we're in here, where we don't have enough money. So it is a money thing. It absolutely is a money thing. Part of it is money. But the other part of it is that we're not being treated fairly. We're not getting anything from Ottawa. Whenever Carney talks about Alberta, it's like, let's increase the industrial carbon tax. Let's bring in a carbon capture system that's going to cost billions of dollars to pump CO2 into the ground. Yeah, let's go net zero. It's like everything that Carbon Carney comes up with is like completely negative and poor and terrible for the province of Alberta. And that's the reason, the big reason, that we want independence in Alberta here. We are absolutely not being treated fairly by the rest of Canada, and we're sick and tired of it. Absolutely sick and tired of it. And this breach of the voter information is not going to stop Alberta independence. You can call me a greaseball. You can call me a traitor. You can call me, let's see, what else do you call me? Seppi. You know, it's like a dirty word now that you've come up with, seppies, because the lefties always like to call people names, you know. It's like, yeah, you're a bad person. We don't like you. Okay, vote no. When it comes to vote and you don't like Alberta independence, vote no. Hey, go right ahead, do it. But there are lots of people in Alberta that are sick and tired of Confederation, sick and tired of the bad deal that Alberta is getting in Confederation, and are going to vote yes. So look forward to me being at the event here today at Alberta Elections, because I will be down there. I'll be hopping in my car and we'll be going live down there. So look for us to go live. I know that there's other streamers who are going to be live down there too. We'll maybe talk to some of those streamers there too, kind of, you know, brush shoulders with some of the other people that are pro-independence. Look forward to that all happening. Otherwise, we'll see you down there in the near future. Look forward to happen. And we'll see you then. Thanks a lot for being with us today. And you're watching the Tommy Temper Show. I'm Tommy Temper, and we're pro-Alberta independence.
Albertans rise up, tired of the status quo.
Woohoo!
Oil sands pumping.
Let's go.
Gold, beef on the grill so fine. Grain fields
exactly,
golden,
Boop. There are just a bunch of idiots out there that like name calling. And it's easy to call people names. And if you don't like it, hey, go ahead, call us whatever name you want. I don't care. It's not going to change my view, that's for sure. In fact, one of the canvassers got a cigarette buttered on his neck. That's what the lefties are doing. You know, shame on them. CJ, good to see you. Nice talking to you on Zello, by the way. And on Zello, we're over there on Alberta Independence is the group over on Zello. So look forward to talking to some true blue Albertans over on Zello, Alberta Independence. Woo! Good to see everyone in there. Thanks a lot for popping in. I see everyone's names in there. Partibonza, good to see you. Dwayne is in there. Mr. Scissors is in there. We'll be at the event. Come on down there. 115th Street and Kingsway there, Pooh Scissors. Come on down there. I'll shake your hand. I'll buy you a root beer. Or whatever they're selling down there. I need an independence t-shirt or something. Be more with the program. Just I don't want to be embedded with any particular group, and there's lots of groups out there. Yeah, the East have their panties in a knot. No doubt about that. Oh, too faded to drive. Okay. Gotcha. Loving it. We can do it.
But self-determination's all right. Like Ukraine from the Soviets, we'll fight through the night. No more sending our wealth to fund their endless schemes. Our pensions rising, fulfilling our dreams. Tired of the liberals, their rules and their games. Albertans are
Let's go.
falling out on
I'm just cleaning up the chat here because I want to have a clean chat when I go live here because I won't be able to moderate the chat. So we're cleaning up the chat here, making sure that some of the trolls just plain stay away from the chat when we're going to be going live later here today. And I will be live probably in about an hour or so. So look forward to that. And we're live on multiple platforms: Facebook, X, YouTube, Presspad on YouTube, on Twitch, and on Kick. So thanks a lot on all of those platforms for watching. Appreciate everyone. Alberta independence is the path forward. Dwayne Beaver, you got it. Thanks for that comment. Sounding beautiful. Thanks for the hearts out there. I see lots of hearts in the chat. Thank you very much. Woohoo! Okay, we're doing well. And remember, I learned this a long time ago. All advertising is positive, even negative. Even things that are negative. If it gets your name and your movement up there in the bright lights, it's free advertising. So even this business of the signature, the data breach, all this kind of crap, it's getting Alberta independence out there. And at the end of the day, people will forget about the data breach and they'll just remember Alberta independence. So let's go. Woohoo. See you later. See you at the event. I'll be mobile, and I'll actually have my I don't have my megaphone here. It's in the car already. It's ready to go. My car is loaded up and ready to go. So I'm gonna burst out of here and head over to the event and talk to some of my friends down there, and it's gonna be pretty big. I think there's going to be a lot of people down there, because this has been pretty well advertised, and you have a lot of people that took signatures, that want to see those signatures actually go into Elections Alberta. And so you're going to have a lot of canvassers that are out down there. Plus, you're going to have a lot of streamers that are down there. So, it'll be a lot of fun. I'll bring my shady chair, whatever, so I can sit there for a while. I'll bring my megaphone. I'll bring my song that'll be playing on the megaphone. Or if they have a PA system, I'll get them to use my USB stick to play my Alberta Freedom song, which, you might think it's corny or something like that, but at the end of the day, hey, it's actually pretty good. The words say exactly what is going on here and why we want freedom, why we want independence here in Alberta. Okay, Mater, good to see you. Yeah, it's today, and in about an hour or so, I'll be live again. So turn that bell on, look for notifications when we go live again, and we'll see you at the big event.